Hello and welcome to the Veritaseum DAO channel. I am one of the co-hosts here, Jeff, otherwise known as Litecoin Leader. Both myself and Lisa Davis, Litecoin Lisa, were able to sit down with Reggie Middleton recently for an extended interview. But until we're able to share the entire interview, we want to give you a few excerpts. So please enjoy this little clip as we lead up to the entire broadcast soon.
I wanted to go into what kind of the next step in your career. So you have had so much success with all of your financial, the Boom Bust blog, like you said. You were featured, or you won CNBC's stock draft. You've been published in HuffPost, broadcast on CNBC as a regular contributor, Bloomberg. RT News. I mean, definitely recognized in the financial industry, and then found blockchain and started your startup venture to apply your research background skills to digital assets and cryptocurrencies. So, where did that idea come from? Did that come to you in the middle of the night as you saw that smart contract capability of Bitcoin? And why did you choose to create those swaps on Bitcoin? How did that all happen for you? How was VERI created?
I'm just looking out the window and it's snowing.
Oh,
March 13th in New York. But okay. As soon as I saw the Bitcoin wiki and the description of smart contracts, it popped in. If you have a financial engineer who's open-minded or a strong investment analyst or portfolio manager who understands tech well, if he reads that, he's going to get it. Okay. The reason why a lot of guys didn't get it back in 2013 is because most of the people who were in it were software developers and engineers. Okay. But, guys who have my background, training, experience, or expertise, they get it immediately. There are a lot of guys who are like me who don't get it, but that's because they haven't seen it with an open mind. I could care less. I don't prejudge things. My superpower is I know I don't know everything. And so I don't have to worry about proving myself right or preconceived notions. The only preconceived notion that I have is that I don't know what it is I'm conceiving until I read it. So that's
interesting.
very, very, very well. Sometimes being too smart is not good for you. So moving forward from there, after looking at the blockchain and looking at samples of code that were issued and, APIs weren't even written at that time. I said a good example, a good use case for the blockchain would be to use as a universal counterparty that won't default. And so I pulled up ISDA agreement, that's International Swap Dealers Association agreement. And that is a plain vanilla boilerplate template of what a swap should look like from an operational and legal perspective. At that time, it was about 93, 96 pages. Assuming it's 96 pages, 93 and a half pages of that is for counterparty risk, and it makes sure that Lisa gets paid by Jeff, and Jeff doesn't default on Lisa, and Lisa won't default on Jeff. Well, if you use the Bitcoin to do this, and you script it and you program the transactions, you use the blockchain as a universal counterparty. So instead of Lisa being Jeff's counterparty, the blockchain is Lisa's counterparty. Instead of Jeff being Lisa's counterparty, the blockchain is his counterparty. So instead of dealing directly with each other, we deal with the blockchain as that third party, the middleman. But the blockchain doesn't extract rent, economic rent, fancy word for profits it doesn't deserve. And the transactions at the time were very, very low transaction fees. And at that time and to date that I know of, the chain has not been effectively hacked. Okay, there is once or twice they were able to take. There were some instances with updates, etc., but an effective double spend never happened. And taking assets from the blockchain that didn't go according to the code, according to my knowledge, it's never happened. Very strong track record. And so I took the ISDA agreement, from 96 pages roughly down to page and a half, maybe two, I programmed it on the blockchain, and the scripting language at that time with Bitcoin, and even right now, is very limited. So we boosted it with Python and did a bunch of things and financial engineered, and we had BTC Swap. BTC Swap was basically financial derivative that allows you to trade value by injecting a data feed into the Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin values will go up and down according to the data feed. So Lisa can go long Google stock and short, at that time, short copper. Jeff could go long copper, short Google stock. You actually use copper to buy Google stock. Okay, nobody can default. You didn't need access to the actual inventory because it was data feeds and worked like a charm. The first swap was settled in December of 2013, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
That was early. If you think of Uniswap, which I think took off in 2019 or 2018, at least 5 years in the difference.
Yeah, you were definitely ahead of your time.
So there you have it, a brief excerpt from our interview with Reggie Middleton. We'll be airing more excerpts like this in the near future, as well as the full extended interview in the coming days. So on behalf of Lisa Davis, Reggie Middleton, and the entire VERI DAO, I hope to see you again very soon. Take care.